Why are you so angry? Bro, you think your dad beat the shit out of you? I'm gonna show you what it's like to beat you.
Sunday, I'm gonna fucking kill your dreams, bitch. I wanna fucking kill your dreams.
He's got the choke.
Du Plessis. There's the
gets it done.
Oh my God.
You're looking at the next middleweight champ. What?
Dricus Du Plessis isn't your average contender. He's awkward, unorthodox, wild at times, but somehow he's unstoppable. He's the guy that opponents laugh at during press conferences until they're flat on their back, gasping for air, wondering what just hit them. Even his critics, guys like Israel Adesanya and Strickland, they started off with jokes, but ended with bruises. It's almost comedic how many times this script has played out. 9 fights into his UFC journey, 9 wins and 4 violent finishes, destroying 3 ex-champions along the way. And each time, it ends the same way, with Du Plessis standing over them, wild-eyed, breathing heavy, and still coming forward. And yet, nobody can defeat him. Not Whitaker, not Till, and not even Adesanya. Well, Dricus Du Plessis, he always seems to leave one brutal message. It doesn't matter how clean your technique is, he's gonna break you anyway. He's gonna come at you without a fear in the world, and he will take you out, one way or another. So what is it exactly about Dricus Du Plessis that has UFC fighters actually scared? Well, today we break down the chaos, the carnage, and the cold precision behind the wildest champion in middleweight history. When Dricus first walked into a UFC cage, it was against Marcus Perez back in 2020. There was no fanfare, there was definitely no hype, just a middleweight with a strange stance and a hunger that didn't match his technique. Perez was supposed to teach him a lesson, a fighter who talked a lot, danced a lot, and claimed that Dricus didn't belong at middleweight. In the lead up to the fight, Perez, he was cocky as ever. He promised to knock him out in the first round. But you see, Du Plessis, he didn't just want to win, he actually wanted more. He wanted to basically dominate. He wanted a statement of victory, and that would solidify his place at the top and also prove to everyone that he was a force to be reckoned with in the octagon. And that is exactly what Du Plessis did. Perez tried to back his words with some action, but instead, Du Plessis floored him with a left hook and shut the lights off in just 3 minutes into the first round. From there, the wins started racking up. Trevin Giles got walked down and folded in round 2. And then even the rock-hard Brad Tavares got his face restructured in a show of total dominance by the rising storm from South Africa. While Darren Till, once recognized as England's next big thing, tapped out to a neck crank after Dricus broke him both mentally and physically. All of them were overwhelmed by a guy whose style made 0 sense, but he produced some brutal results. But this wasn't just violence for the sake of violence. Du Plessis was moving through the ranks like a storm, and yet he stayed cool. He was climbing slowly, and he was being methodical about it all. He took fights that made sense. He didn't want to make any headlines. He knew that he was on a rookie contract, and fighting big names too early meant that he was risking it all for basically little return. He wasn't about to give the UFC that viral finish for pennies, and he slowly wanted to build his way up to bigger fights. But Dana White, luckily, he didn't care about patience. He wanted the chaos. He wanted the names to go up against each other. So the UFC fed him Darren Till, then Derek Brunson, and then Robert Whitaker. And here's where the twist comes in. He didn't just beat them, he broke each and every one of them. Against Derek Brunson, the pressure was so suffocating that Brunson's corner literally threw in the towel to stop the beating. And when he went up against Robert Whitaker, this was a guy who hadn't lost to anyone except Adesanya in nearly a decade. But Du Plessis dropped him, he swarmed him, and he finished him inside 2 rounds. He was supposed to be the underdog, the awkward one, the guy who looked tired by round 2. Now, he was becoming a contender that no one could understand, and the one guy that no one wanted to face. And that was just only the beginning. You see, the thing is that Robert Whittaker, he never gets broken. But by the time that Dricus dismantles Robert Whittaker, the MMA world had no choice but to take him seriously, including the man watching cage side. That was Israel Adesanya, the reigning champ, the artist, the style bender, the man who danced around killers and made it all look so easy. Izzy, well, he didn't just watch. He stormed the cage, grabbed the mic, and started shouting. In a moment that looked like a show of unity, well, that was until the tune changed and everything flipped. What happened next was pure chaos, and the UFC absolutely loved it.
Chill. That's right. We're fine. Relax. This is my African brother right here. Let's go. What's up?
I'm African, but I ain't no brother of yours, son.
My let's go. You my real. I don't need a DNA test. I don't need a 36 and me to know where I'm from.
Du Plessis previously questioned Adesanya's African roots, saying that he was the only real African champion, and he wanted to bring the belt to Africa because he trained, bled, and lived in the continent, that he was fighting for all of Africa, not from a distance. Izzy, born in Nigeria and raised in New Zealand, took that personally. Very, very personally. And what should have been hype for a title fight became personal. But just as the fight was being lined up, the match collapsed. Du Plessis was pulled from the fight due to an injury, unexpected, and somehow he shocked the world by outclassing Adesanya over 5 rounds. Champ, he was a new target for Dricus Du Plessis. And Du Plessis was watching, and he wasted no time. He wanted Strickland right then and there. And 4 months later, at UFC 297, the showdown was set. Leading up to the fight, Strickland was full of confidence. He talked non-stop like he always does. He called Dricus sloppy, he mocked his technique, and he claimed that he'd prefer breaking him down slowly through 5 rounds.
I just want to make motherfuckers bleed, and Dricus is the next one who's gonna fucking bleed. I can't fucking wait. The only thing I want to do is make this man bleed, and it's gonna be a good one. They offered him a world title, and he said, no, I rolled my fucking ankle. And you're gonna see 5 rounds of him getting the utter shit kicked out of him. I promise you that. To the death, Dricus.
You know you won't finish me. You won't even get close. But don't worry. There won't be enough time.
I don't gotta worry
for you
about
to think
finishing.
about.
Your coach will finish you in the back like you're fucking used to.
Du Plessis didn't flinch. He fired back hard, turning the build-up into a very ugly and very personal dispute. Du Plessis dug deep into Strickland's traumatic past, even mocking his abusive childhood and throwing grenades during interviews.
Bro, why are you so angry? Bro, you think your dad beat the shit out of you? Your dad doesn't have shit on me. I'm gonna show you what it's like to beat you. I mean, every childhood memory you have is gonna come back. And everything I said was factual.
Yeah.
His dad did beat the shit out of him, and I am going to beat the shit out of him.
By the time the fight night arrived, this wasn't just a competition, it was an all-out war. And for 5 violent rounds, they went to hell and back. Strickland brought his trademark volume and grit. Du Plessis brought relentless pressure and punishment, mixing striking with grappling and suffocating clinch work. Every round was razor close. Every exchange felt like it could shift the entire momentum. And it was so close, but when the dust settled, Dricus, well, he was the one who had his hand raised.
Nice shot.
Keep going.
He switches stance to try to find the openings. It makes it as advertised. Nice one.
Because that cut seems to be in a very bad place.
And with that, he wasn't just a contender anymore. He was now the new undisputed UFC middleweight champion. Years of sacrifice, awkward fights, nose surgeries, critics, doubters, and almost the entire division looking down at him, all crushed under the weight of his victory. The kid from Pretoria, the man that nobody took seriously, was now sitting at the top of the mountain. For the first time, fans and fighters alike began admitting it, that Du Plessis wasn't just weird, He was dangerous, he was unpredictable, he was durable, and he was a bunch of calculated chaos. The kind of guy who doesn't just win, he ruins your night. And still, his reign was only just beginning. And while all of this was happening, another storm was building. Israel Adesanya, the prodigy, was no longer a champion, he was no longer in control, but still obsessed with getting revenge. At UFC 305, the two finally collided, and what followed was one of the most emotionally charged fights the division has ever seen.
I just want to show you guys how great I am. And he said himself, like, he has the belt to prove that he's great. I was great without the belt. I was great before the belt, and I'll be great after the belt. I'm Israel Adesanya, and I'll remind you guys that I'm the last stylebender. Yeah, I don't need any extra motivation. He's my motivation. Fuck the belt, I'm coming for your head.
Izzy tried to get into Dricus' head. He mocked his upbringing, he questioned his story, and even cried at a press conference as he was overwhelmed by emotion. But Du Plessis barely blinked.
You don't even know anything about my story. You have no idea who the fuck I am.
I don't care about your story. I don't care about your story.
Listen, you don't know my fucking story. Man, don't fucking speak of my story if you don't know my story.
I don't care.
I will show you who you are Sunday. So right now, shut the fuck up.
I can't wait.
Back by unless you see.
He touched the subject there because I do this for my family. I do this for the people I love, and I'll fight for you forever. I swear to God. Watch this. Look, I'm a fucking human being. I am a man. I can cry and whoop your ass at the same time. I feel the love from the crowd. First time I fought here, 2-2-1, that was February 2018. That was me making my dream come true. Sunday, I'm gonna fucking kill your dreams, bitch. I wanna fucking kill your dreams.
For Adesanya, this was personal, but for Du Plessis, it was just business, and in the octagon, it was the same story. Adesanya started strong, sniping with jabs, switching stances, moving like the style bender of old.
That's big for Adesanya here, early round 2.
He doesn't drop him.
Oh, and that's what's right hand from the champion. Beautiful elbow. Didn't see that coming.
It's so amazing to watch two completely different styles. And just.
But by the fourth round, the tide shifted and Du Plessis took over. He started hunting him, he started hurting him, he started dragging him down, smashing him in the clinch. And by round 4, Adesanya was broken, he was drained, and Du Plessis seized the opportunity, locking in the choke, and the prodigy from Pretoria had done it again, defeating every man that they could throw at him. After beating Adesanya, there was an old opponent that felt that he deserved a rematch. You see, Sean Strickland, he didn't take his loss quietly. He claimed that the first fight was rigged and he wanted a rematch, and the UFC gave it to him. And by the time this fight came along, it wasn't the same fight. Du Plessis didn't just outlast Strickland, he picked him apart. He dominated him in every single phase of the fight. Over 5 rounds, Du Plessis painted a picture of a clear, dominant performance. He broke Strickland's nose, shut down his jabs, and buried any argument about the first decision. And this time, the judges didn't even blink. It was a unanimous decision, 5 rounds to none. Du Plessis was no longer a fluke, he was the real deal. And now, there's only one name left, and that is Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev isn't just undefeated, he's untouched. He is regarded as the boogeyman of multiple divisions, a smothering force of both wrestling and aggression. And now the whispers are getting louder. Maybe he's the one. Maybe he's the one that can put enough pressure on Du Plessis. He is the one person that can take Du Plessis out. He is the kryptonite to what is Dricus Du Plessis. 2 titans of the sport, 2 styles that don't back up, and now their paths have officially collided. As Dricus Du Plessis prepares to face Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319, the stakes grow even higher. 1 belt and only 1 survivor. Du Plessis recently showcased his confidence by displaying his championship belt at a friendly match between Manchester United and Bournemouth in Chicago. The question still remains the same. Does Chimaev need to be afraid? Because we are taking a look at one of the most unorthodox fighters in UFC history. But at the same time, it's the kind of fighter that can take a fight to anyone and almost always come out on top. And now we want to hear from you. Who do you believe is going to survive the chaos? The wild, unbreakable pace of Dricus Du Plessis, or the merciless hurricane that is Khamzat Chimaev? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of this MMA content. Guys, I'm Ty, and I will catch you on the next one.